What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Passionate DJ Podcast. I'm your host, David Michael, and today we're talking about how to become a DJ. Now, today we'll be covering a 9-step process to help you along on your journey. Now, this guide comes in 3 different formats: the written guide on our website, a 9-part series on YouTube, or an audio podcast form using your favorite podcast app. Now, any of these will work, but to get the most out of it, the best way is to take a little bit of time, sit down, and visit the written guide at passionatedj.com/howtodj. That's all one word. Now, that way you can watch the videos and follow along the article for resources. Now, since its original form in 2013, this guide has helped literally thousands of beginner DJs to get their start. But of course, it's up to you to take real action. So, without further ado, let's learn about DJing. Now, first things first, if this is your first time checking out Passionate DJ, welcome aboard. This will be a little bit different than our normal episodes of the podcast, which feature my amazing co-hosts, Tony DeCero, Trip Turlington, and Mo Dingo. Now, sometimes we also feature special guests who may have helpful information or inspirational stories to share. Now, those episodes are way more like listening into a conversation, and plus, not every episode is going to be so beginner-focused as this one. So if you're not a beginner DJ, please consider subscribing so that you can see what else we have to offer. Also, please know that after you're done with today's show, the conversation continues over on our free private Facebook group. You can join us there now by visiting passionatedj.com/community. Now, step 1 in your journey is learning what DJs do. And actually, defining the word DJ is pretty simple. A DJ, or disc jockey, is a person who hosts pre-recorded music for an audience. Simple. But there are many different kinds of DJs and many reasons for them to exist. So before we start your journey into DJing, let's take a quick dive into what they actually do. And we're going to start with club DJs. Now, every club has a different feel, reputation, and audience, which means that they vary in what's expected from their musical selection. Now, normally the club DJ's job is maintaining a moving dance floor. Club DJs may perform long blends, also known as transitions, between songs or some other trickery to keep people's feet moving. Now, when a DJ performs at a venue regularly or permanently, they're called a resident DJ. They must know how to ramp the energy up and down, maintaining the balance between an active dance floor and a busy bar. Now, of course, we say club DJs, but those who have built a following may also perform at bars, music venues, festivals, and so on. So next up, let's talk about mobile DJs. These are the DJs that perform at your wedding or a corporate event, something like that. These are DJ entrepreneurs, and mobile DJs have a lot to keep track of. They may be solely responsible for the setup and teardown of equipment, planning the show, managing the crowd, making any announcements. They probably should be comfortable taking requests, or in some cases even entire playlists, speaking into a microphone, and investing in sound equipment. Of course, we can't skip over the radio DJ. The entire concept of DJing owes its origins to radio. Now, this could be the person who announces the weather between the songs, or the person who actually selects the music, and while many corporate radio DJs have lost control over the music, you might argue that that art lives on in podcast format. And of course, then there's turntablists and other performance-based DJs. Now, people go see them because of their skill, reputation, and what they can do behind the decks. Their mixes are displays of raw dexterity, impressive tricks, and clever transitions. These are your exhibitionist DJs, and in addition to turntablists who focus on cutting and scratching, there are also controllerists and other live performers who are basically trying to show off their skills. They play their gear like it's a musical instrument, and listening to them without watching is kind of like only getting half of the story. Now, those are some basic types of DJs, but what about producers? Well, people confuse DJing and production quite a lot. While DJing is hosting pre-recorded music to an audience, producing is the original creation or recording of music. Look, to put it in simple terms, someone produces a techno song, and then a techno DJ might play that song at a festival. Now, it may seem confusing because many performances are hybrids of these two things, And when the creator and the performer is the same person, you might call them a DJ producer. The point is that there are many different types of performers. Some of them are strictly DJs, some of them play a live PA complete with hardware synthesizers, drum machines, and stuff like that. And some land in between. Basically, it's a whole spectrum. So that's pretty much it for part 1. And before we get into a topic that's so in-depth as this, I feel that it's kind of important to make sure we all understand and agree on what we're talking about. So in part 2, we're going to discuss goals, and then after that, we'll get into some real action items for you. And so that way you could start mixing that sweet, sweet music. But note that the point of this guide is not to teach you any specific DJ software or to teach you every single skill that you're going to need to become good at DJing. This guide is a very top level view, and it should apply no matter what your hardware or mixing style. But if you're looking for actual DJ courses, the kind that you pay for, which teaches the actual software and skills needed one by one, we're glad to recommend some courseware by one of our affiliates. In fact, I've put some links for you in the guide and in the description box of this episode. And remember, if you're struggling with something specific, there's probably somebody in our Facebook group ready to help out. Just hit up passionatedj.com/community and it'll forward you right there.